were a bit raunchy and raucous.
We kept you on a really short leash.
Nice to be on someone's leash sometimes.
I was gonna say, with that hair, you better play an instrument. It is so rock and roll. I love it.
I think she's a they. That didn't come out right. Can you do this for, a donut?
People would do anything for a t-shirt.
That's like genius.
Hi. My gay of the day.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing much better now. Yes.
Jesus fuck. We can talk about that live on the. We already.
And trust me, I had the same reaction.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, it was a little scary, but all good
Yeah,
now.
man.
Everything's
Okay.
pumping and flowing the way it should.
Thank God. Hi, JD.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you got your notes behind you.
You look wonderful. Yes. There it is.
Look, who's on today? I don't remember.
I love this blackboard. It's changed my life.
Hey, listen, I love a good chalkboard wall. I don't think enough people have them.
See?
I'm telling you, one of my heroes is Karen Shaw, who
Uh-huh.
walks in front of Trump Tower like every day. Like
Love
what a
it.
loser he is, and
Yeah.
takes a picture of it. Has an awesome quote. I'm like, this girl. I would follow her around New York.
What does she go around with the chalkboard? I haven't seen
No.
her.
She chalks it right on concrete.
Like literally on the
Oh, on
pavement.
the concrete.
Yep. And every day those schlubs are out there with the hose, and it doesn't.
Oh my
She's
God.
been doing it for 4 years now. It's fantastic. I
Well-
wish. Okay. What are you doing in New York, Dana?
My girl lives here, so I split half the time here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So you're having
That's
a sweaty New York summer? Or
Oh, Jesus, hell. I'm in full-blown menopause and I can't deal with this weather. It's 100. And my favorite thing is, I don't even know if we started the podcast. My favorite thing is that people are like, yesterday was 100, and then literally someone today is like, it's not as bad as yesterday. I'm like, it's 95 degrees outside. You can't tell the difference. You don't know.
I mean, really, once you hit 90, it doesn't even matter.
You're done.
matter.
You're done.
Yeah. Little
we-
bit- no.
We
No.
live in a constant state of that down here. You don't even know what month of the year it is because it's always hot down here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in the twilight zone. I don't even know how you do it. I
Well,
mean,
I
if the
know.
heat was the worst thing about where you live, it would be one thing.
Right? It's just layered in Florida.
One of the things
It's
on the
layered.
list. Where do you
Yeah.
live, Dana? In LA?
Yeah, LA's
LA?
home. Yeah.
Back and
So
forth.
that's supposed to be nice weather though all the time, right?
Not all the time. The global climate change is real. Like we're
Yeah.
having fires like we should never have in this entire
Right.
world. We've got
Right.
mudslides that
Yeah.
come after that with the storms. It's like the 10 Commandments. Like the plagues are here.
It's so
Oh
true.
man.
We're waiting for frogs and locusts, and then everything will be good.
I have to go home and I have to go back to Florida in August because my stepdad's going on a guy's trip, and he really deserves it because he looks after my mom like so much.
Oh, got it,
I was
got it.
like, okay, look, I'll step up. I'll come. I'll take her to the casino. I'll cook dinners for her. No problem. I
Oh.
realized like it's August.
Yeah,
I'm flying into the pit of hell.
yeah,
And because that's not enough. It's the middle of hurricane season.
yeah. Good. Godspeed, friend. That's
Me and
all.
my mother-
Godspeed.
Me and my mother be riding out whatever happens. Yeah, it'd be fun. So, anyways, I asked you because it's Pride Month, so
Yep.
But I wanted to have you on because I love this Gay of the Day thing that you're doing, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so good because it's just a little burst of information, stuff that I would say at least 80% of us don't know. So,
Yeah.
So it's like a little lesson, but in a bite-sized, a little Snickers fun size. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love this idea. I can do that. People send me reels and shit that are longer than 30 seconds. Nope, you lost
You're like,
me.
I'm done. I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is right up my alley. And I just I got to know more. Did you just decide one day this is what I'm going to do for Pride Month?
Yeah, I was talking to my manager and we were figuring out, I have a very long, successful career, but I'm trying to figure out how to boost my social media following, especially on Instagram. And so, because unfortunately, that's how some of these ways where people decide how popular you are. We live in a very different world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what do I want to put out there? And I'm like, let's do the gay of the day. And she was like, that's brilliant. I'm like,
Love
great.
that.
So every day I write my scripts and I record the videos. I send them to my manager, who's also a wonderful producer, and she helps edit them down for me. And it's been fantastic. The feedback's been wonderful. So if you're listening to this podcast and you don't follow me on social media, it's DG Comedy. So
Yes.
you can go there. And the only thing I wish that more people were sharing them, because I think a lot of people are enjoying them and then they're like, that's amazing. But I want everyone to know about these people.
Right.
So what is it? I might have missed that. What is the gay of-
JD, that's it. The podcast is over. It was nice to
How
see
did
you,
I
Denise.
miss it?
It's been every day for 30
You
days,
have to-
JD.
I haven't been. I've had stuff going on.
It's okay.
Pleasant.
So
I have
every
to
day,
catch up.
every day on social media, I'm highlighting an LGBTQ hero in our community, and it's been anywhere from people that invented the computer to breaking Nazi code to blues singers to artists to writers to chefs like James Beard. A lot of people don't know that James was gay. It's all of these people, and I think now more than ever is they're trying to raise our stories and they're trying to raise the community, especially the
Yes,
trans community
yes.
right now in the United States. Our stories are more important than ever and we have to amplify them. And so I was like, I got a platform and this is really fun for me. So I'm going to put out the videos are like 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then
Yes,
people
love
move
it.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
I
love
think you're
that
right.
idea.
I think passing them along is such a good idea, especially because like I find that Threads is a very welcoming platform and we get a lot of traction and engagement on there. And that's basically what I do is find stuff that I like. It's stuff that I
Yeah.
think resonate with our listeners and followers and pass it along. And that's one of the things. It's just like it's a great repost, I guess
Yeah.
is the word.
And it's so easy. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to do it.
I
It
know.
was one thing is this there's a little
Right.
arrow. If you're listening, there's a little arrow under the video and if you click it, you can share it to your story. I don't know
Yeah.
how to repost on
Oh.
my page well, but you just share it to listen, JD. JD's like, oh.
This
Oh.
is a
I didn't know
lesson.
you could do that with other people's things. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So you just
Yes.
take that little arrow in the right hand corner underneath the video and you pop it to your story and then other people get to see it.
Yeah.
Got to be a better way, and and a free
Yeah.
way.
Well, yeah, he probably bought it all. I mean, listen, I don't love any of the social media, billionaires very much because they're making it's an algorithm. They
Yeah.
boost what they want to boost. They block what they want to block.
It's
But
ridiculous.
that's sort of what we have to do and play the game. So,
Yep.
Threads is definitely more welcoming than Twitter, and Blue Sky I think is even more welcoming than Threads. Blue Sky is a really great
Oh.
platform.
I
So,
find Blue Sky is very newsy.
yeah, but that's true. Very newsy.
You know,
Yeah.
I get my fun on Threads, and then I get my news on Blue Sky.
That actually makes sense because Threads comes directly from Instagram, so that would make sense that it's a little bit more. Da, 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 da.
It's like I found a lot of like funny, quirky people, that I can honestly relate to. So yeah, I do my little scrolling in the morning, and then I got to put the phone down because
It'll make you crazy. Oh, well, you know why? That's probably why. Do the people know? Am I telling them anything they don't know? Do the people know what happened to you?
Yes.
yes,
Right? Kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah. You told
Yeah.
me that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, everything that's going on in the news cycle didn't, help your little.
I know.
little
I blame it.
ticker.
I blame it on him 100%.
You should.
Yep. Like, yep.
Also, I'm glad you're okay. I need everyone to know that literally Denise emailed me and I was like, hey, nice to hear from you. How's it going? She's like, I just got out of the hospital like 5 seconds ago. And I was like, and emailing me was the first thing you did.
Hey,
I still have to contribute. Like, I still had to find guests, and I'm like, I know
aw.
Dana will say yes. Dana will say yes. It'll be a low stress, low impact, thing for me to do. And
There you go.
It was. It was a nice way to ease back into it because I was gone for like 3 weeks, if not more. And JD
I'm
had to
just-
kind of hold down
yeah.
the fort.
I'm just glad you're okay. Yeah, it's you gotta, everyone out there, you gotta take your health seriously right now. Someone asked me, what can I do? What's one thing I can do during this time to help? And I said, you can focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've got to make sure you're okay to get out there and march in the streets and protest and call your senators and write the letters. You got to have your mental health intact, and they
Yeah.
are flooding the zone
your
intentionally,
physical
and they're
health.
trying to burn
Totally.
people
Yeah.
out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can feel your blood pressure go up when you're on the social media thing, and that you can feel it. You need to put your phone down sometime. Go outside and touch grass.
I
Do
will
it.
say I will say this, my phone got me through 10 days in the hospital because
That's fair.
they don't have TVs in the rooms there.
I
They
couldn't
don't have
believe
rooms.
that.
They don't have rooms. So yeah, there was nothing else to do. Like I read Katie's book, my friend Katie's book, and
Don't tell. There was nothing else to do. I read Katie's book.
I'm sure Katie feels real good about that. Yeah.
I brought it with me on
Took you to
purpose.
have a
I told
fucking
her.
heart attack, and then you were able to pick up my books.
I had to wait 10 days to get the angioplasty. So
Oh
I
my
had to be
God.
in because they were pumping me full of blood thinners to keep everything okay.
Oh boy.
And then I had to get transferred to another hospital to get the angioplasty and then transferred back to where I was to get
And
this
no air conditioning.
no air conditioning.
I'm telling you, some people think socialized medicine is the way to go, but sometimes when you're not paying for it, you get what you pay for.
Don't even get me started on the menu.
Oh, the menu. Yeah.
God, I've
Nothing
never
special.
seen so much cheese.
Oh
I was
God.
in the cardiac care unit.
Oh my God.
And
On top of that?
there was like macaroni and cheese, potatoes and cheese, just
Oh my
potatoes
God.
and cheese, baked potato with cheese, a salad, but with cheese. Every single thing had cheese on it. I was like, oh my God, cheese sandwiches,
Oh
cheese
my
potatoes.
God.
And I was like, are you kidding me with this?
Oh, nothing
That's
heart
crazy.
healthy. And or
Nothing.
diabetic, right? They didn't
Or
have a diet.
diabetic. Yep. Like it was just, I asked, like, all I have to drink is tea, coffee, caffeine, because that's what you need to stimulate your heart.
Yeah, just keep your heart going faster than it needs to be.
Oh my
Or
God.
orange juice or apple juice. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, all right, you know
Oh,
what? I'll do tea, but do you have any of the, low cal sweetener? And they're like, no. Just flat
Oh
out
my
no.
God.
No. And then in the mornings, like, what are the breakfast options? Rice Krispies, Bran Flakes, or Weetabix.
oh.
So cold
Weetabix.
cereal every day. And I mean, I was like, I was hoarding bananas and Jello. Like,
Oh my God. They're gonna make people lose weight one way or another, apparently.
I lost like 6 pounds in those 10 days.
Oh,
See?
It was crazy. And
I,
then Gemma was bringing me green things like salads and
yeah.
like anything green. It was crazy. So yeah, it was yeah, you're right. Socialized medicine is, 50
It's
50.
got its pros and cons, everyone. It's got
Yeah,
its
yeah.
pros and cons.
It really does. It's
I
crazy.
mean, our system's fucked up in the United States, so we shouldn't go by that. But no, I don't know if anyone's got it down. If you're a listener and you think you've got great medical, because even Canada, I met someone who was having surgery and there was a complication. And literally, she ended up losing her leg.
Oh God.
And she was having surgery on her toe.
Oh shit.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, even though you can't sue the doctor, there
Right.
was no recourse because it's socialized medicine. So that's one of the downfalls of that is you can't sue a doctor for malpractice if there was a mistake that they made.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a shame.
Seriously.
Or if there was a mistake that was made. I shouldn't say that they made. I don't know. There's probably ways around doing it, but yeah, she wasn't able to actually get compensation for it.
Wow. Oh my God. That is ridiculous.
That's awful.
It is. I guess it doesn't really matter where you are. There's always, issues and problems because,
Right.
it is.
There's bureaucracy in every country
Yeah,
that, yeah.
exactly. As my mother would say, it is what it is, Denise.
Yeah.
That's her new favorite saying. I was like, okay. I called her yesterday, told her how stressed I was because we're selling this house, buying another house.
Oh, okay.
Over here, it's a very different. I mean, I was telling JD this afternoon about it. It's like throwing up a handful of balls and they all have to land in the right place, but you have no control over it. You just have
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
we have to get an offer on this place before they will accept the offer we made, and then they have to find a place that they want to buy their next place and
Right.
qualify for that. So it's this onward chain thing that has to happen, and it's just
If
all
one thing doesn't work, it starts over.
it's all up in the air. So
Wow.
we're in the stressful process of staging our home for the pictures and videos.
Yep.
And like I've like had nervous breakdowns. I've cried. I smoked again, and I was like,
Um,
oh my God, like it's just ridiculous how they want your house to look like it's never been lived in.
Yeah, I'm
Right? Like
sure.
a magazine or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So yeah, it's been a lot, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a month out from a heart attack, and I've never known stress the way I know
What
it now.
timing? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
geez.
Gemma got in a car accident, and she's got to get her car fixed, and that the timing was brutal because we need the car to stuff shit in,
Right.
hide, right? And then on top of that, there's a heat wave going on. And then lastly, she has a work trip on July 7th until the 23rd. So I'll be
Wow.
handling everything in my fragile state.
Oh boy.
Yeah, fun. It's fun. But you know
I
what?
don't.
I just keep saying it's Pride Month. I should be focused
Uh,
on queer things and gay things and fun and festivities. And so I'm actually happy to be here talking to you about gay stuff.
I
yeah.
It's nice. We'll
Yeah,
focus on the joy and community. That's what we have to do right now.
exactly. And I like New York really goes all out for Pride.
Oh yeah.
Like that's one of the I had a friend that luckily made it to New York Pride, and the pictures and videos that she sent to me, I'm like, this looks like a ridiculous party.
Yeah, and I think right now more than ever, all the prides that have been going on across the country, they're just bigger. I don't think they understand the monster that they woke up.
Yeah,
Like, we've always been able to come together as a community and fight this bullshit. But with everything that's going on in the United States right now, I think the communities are coming together more than they ever have. I mean, we have to. What's happening right now is so unnecessary. That's all I can say. It's
yeah,
just cruel. It's cruel for no reason other than to be cruel. No one's benefiting from what they're taking away from the LGBTQ community here. Nobody. Not
exactly.
even cis girls in sport. Trust me.
I,
The cis girls in
Right.
sports are going to be hurt even more than the trans people in sports
oh,
because
totally.
now you have to fit into society's definition of femininity. And if they don't think you're girly enough or they have questions about your gender, oh, you're going to get a gender check?
Yeah,
Trust me, parents are going to start understanding that this is not actually just affecting trans kids.
so true. Even the adults. Look at the Olympics with the boxer.
Yeah.
You know, like that was,
Which is crazy. That whole thing drove me crazy. Not only was she not trans, there was no problem with her markers. All
right.
of that was started from a Russian bot and
Yeah,
saying that there was a gender test because what happened was she was boxing in the national boxing, whatever it is over there, and she was losing some and winning some and losing some, and then she beat a Russian boxer, and all of a sudden her gender got called
yeah,
into question. And all of a sudden there was a gender test that no one ever saw the results of except the Russian judge. And then
yes.
they decided that, okay, they're going to question her gender. I was furious with how many people shared that article without even questioning whether or not it was true.
It was brutal, and it was like wildfire the way it caught on. You know,
Yeah. Oh,
just
that's because J.K. Rowling.
yeah, it was it was so bad, and what it did to that woman's life,
Yeah.
Right?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like the people in Algiers, is that she was from Algiers, I think, right?
I believe so.
And it's a crime to be gay there,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it was like, oh my God, they have no idea what they just did to
They
like
don't care. They probably did, Denise. That's the problem. These
yeah,
people don't care anymore about other human beings.
no,
These
they're
rumors that they're spreading. I mean, when there was that accident, Washington D.C., when that plane crash happened with the military helicopter, they blamed a trans pilot, a
I
female
saw
trans
that
pilot
interview.
named Joe Ellis.
Yeah,
And Joe is titled, so I shouldn't. I don't want to say that. I don't believe she's a commander, but they said that she was the pilot.
she
And
wasn't even
Joe had to put out a video the next day to be like, I'm still alive.
there. Yeah,
Total Monty Python. I'm still alive.
Oh my
I'm feeling quite
God.
well. I'm feeling quite well, actually.
Oh
I'm
my
not dead yet. I'm still alive.
couldn't even believe
Um,
it. And then
and then she
the
got death
interviewer
threats
had to
because
act
she
like
was still
she was normal.
alive.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Shit.
People are awful. They're awful. They're
I
awful.
blame
The
so
trans
much of
community is not
social
making your
media.
life miserable. Stop making theirs miserable.
Honestly, I mean,
Those people's lives are miserable all on their own.
That's
Anyway,
true. They just have to find a
so,
scapegoat.
right?
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. That's
Miserable
that's
person.
spot on. And I think like it's up to the rest of the alphabet in our little LGBTQIA. It's up to us to raise awareness for them, to protect them, to create
Yeah.
safe spaces, and then you got people like J.K. Rowling, you know,
Yeah.
who just, I mean, with all those
What
followers
a hill to
out the
die
most
on. What is wrong with you?
how
Yeah.
up, sitting in your castle in Edinburgh and just thinking of all this awful stuff.
After you made billions off characters that literally shapeshift.
Yes, right.
Yes. Yes. And
It's
that,
just,
that alone was so controversial that
oh, it's just
people had
mind boggling.
problems with that. So now people complained about that for whatever reasons they did for that. So now why would you come out and
Yeah,
start? I was really very surprised she was doing that,
I couldn't believe it. I could
her
not.
platform for that.
People over
Yeah.
here are just like mortified. Boy, George told her off well good the other day.
Good. I was curious how people over there are responding because obviously the trans community in the United States thinks she's, Voldemort. But
No,
yeah,
same here.
I just
Same
don't get
here.
it. I don't get it. Yeah.
We have a guest that comes on. Her name is Susie Fox. Lovely, lovely trans woman, and she runs her own rainbow store. So you buy merch and stuff like that from her.
Yeah.
But she's also very in tune with the law and the House
Mm.
of Commons and all that stuff. And she educated us when it was like the time to vote. I had her on the show to talk about this. Her name is Kemi Badendock, and she's awful. She's like the J.K. Rowling
Uh,
in Parliament, right? So
ugh.
just talking about her and how to vote people like her out of your MP offices. Like,
Good.
every little, place here has their own MP, and some of them are Tories and some of them are Labor, and it's all very confusing. But
Yeah.
she broke it down in such a way for everybody to understand. And of course, the trans awareness component of all of it, was that they're trying to take away their right to healthcare.
Right.
And it's just, again, ridiculous. They puberty blockers, they're trying to rule out for anybody like 16 to 18 or something like that. When
Which
it's
is just
allowed.
every scientific organization has said that that is a horrible idea. When trans people go through puberty, it causes a tremendous amount of internal damage for them.
Yeah.
And taking away healthcare from anyone is a slippery slope because if you give
Oh,
the government the right to take away the parents' control of how they take care of their children, you're next.
yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
me, you are
Yeah.
next.
That's what I don't think people understand is that if it's not happening to them, they don't give a shit.
Right.
But the minute it happens to them, someone they know, someone they love, someone in their family, then all of a sudden they're getting a little woke about stuff, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way. It should just be that person. What if they're not related to you? Like, you don't care?
Well, also you've got, I mean, let's say RFK Jr. decided one day that no one gets vaccines anymore. No parent is allowed to give their child a vaccine. How would you feel about that? Because if you're upset about that, you should not be against any parent deciding on whether or not their child needs gender affirming care, because I don't think people understand. It is such minuscule cases where surgery is even prescribed.
I look at, we watched I Am Jazz,
Yeah, jazz is wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah, and because they live in Coral Springs. So,
Oh,
You ever run into her, Denise? Because they live probably near where you lived, right?
yeah, they live really nearby. No, I never ran into them, but I watched the show because everything is so familiar.
Yeah, right.
Development they live in is
Terry Smasher.
familiar. The places that they go familiar.
Yeah.
But it was not just that the parents were so supportive, because that was huge. The grandparents,
yeah.
that generation, the grandparents being so supportive, and the advice that they would give, and just the support, the care, the love they showed. It was just like one of those things where you're like, wow,
Yeah.
that's a generation you don't think is going to be not
Exactly.
accepting but understanding. We had Mary Catherine Garrison from Somebody Somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
the sister, on the show, and we were talking about different characters in different shows that we related to and we loved, and Abby McEnany came up. For
Yeah.
the life of me, I tripped over how many times I was like, she, they, but they, she, oh my God, I think she's I think she's a they, but that's not coming out right. Like it
Yeah.
was such a struggle. I was like,
But you also weren't trying to be malicious. You were
right.
really like, I'm trying to get a grip on
Trying to
this
get it right.
and
Yeah.
trying to get it
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It's like once you screw up, it just keeps coming out and coming out and coming out. I was just like, oh my God, I'm not normally like this. I don't know what's going on. But it's you know, I don't like I use the term old timers, but it's something that we do have to get used to, and it's ridiculous because we're so accepting,
Yeah.
it's fine by me. Like I had a roommate move in as a girl and left as a guy. Like I was there for the whole transition, like 3 years
Yeah.
ago. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what this person was like as a girl.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's
That's
like we're
that.
so accepting, but my words don't come out the right way.
You try and listen, I'm not a trans person. I don't know what it feels like to get misgendered, but I do know what it feels like as a cis woman to be called sir, and I still get
Oh yeah,
sir a lot. And so I sort of laugh it off, but I don't have any sort of gender dysphoria in me where it goes against the way I feel. I kind of look at them and I'm like, pay more attention. Like
yeah.
I've got a 36C. If you just looked up, and most of the lesbians I know that get called sir have the biggest tits I've ever seen in my life.
Right? It's
I don't know
all
why
about the
you
haircuts.
butches got that, but I'm sorry if it's a problem. But I just think it's a lot of people not paying attention, and
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Right.
The issue is we've also been taught that there's a binary. If you look a certain way, you're a her. If you look a certain way, you're a him. And we have got to get out of that habit of just making an assumption based on the way someone looks. I
yeah,
have a non-binary person in my family that presents very differently than they feel inside. But they
right,
are also very understanding when they get misgendered because they present differently than they are acting to be respected as.
right.
Right.
Yes.
So it's basically this adorable like anime fairy sometimes, and they're gorgeous,
Right.
but they prefer he him pronouns because that's how they feel, but they are expressing themselves in a way that should be gender neutral, but
Right,
because
right.
of the way we've been set up in society, it's not.
Yep. Yeah, I got a friend that's a professor in Ovida, outside of Orlando. Same thing, always with the bathroom issues,
Yeah,
like people questioning it, and
right.
it's mind blowing that really in this day and age, that people that it's a concern. You got people
Yeah.
like Nancy Mace,
Oh, fuck Nancy
oh
Mace.
my
I
God,
can't.
right? Is she not the worst?
And I don't know what she sold her soul for or who's got dirt on her because she used to be a lot more LGBTQ friendly. And so I don't know what happened.
She's got a family member that's part of the LGBTQ community, so she was super supportive.
She's awful. She's
Like you said,
awful.
like,
And
what?
that's the thing you're saying is I know a lot of butch lesbians that are fearful in women's restrooms because of all of this garbage.
Yes.
Because they present more male in the way they just look in the world, where they have to speak really loudly to their wives in the bathroom. Their wives have to go into the bathroom with them so that they're not accosted by some jackass in there that thinks they're in the wrong restroom.
Right.
Well, that
Who
was
cares? Mind your business. You are not in a community stall. Let him go pee, wash your hands, and leave. That's your job in a
What
bathroom.
do you do
yes,
on an
that's the
airplane?
most important part. There was a work in progress with Abby McInerney.
Yeah,
About
their
that
series was
very
fantastic.
thing. Yeah, the one where she puts her lady voice on when she's making sure she's talking like this when she's in
Yes.
the ladies' room
Yeah.
because she wanted to make sure that they knew that she was a woman. And
Yeah.
then when she was, then there was the whole thing about that whole scene when she's trying to like convince everybody to make them understand like what she's trying to say. Remember
Yeah.
she's gets out. And then the girl comes out of the stall and she's in the wheelchair and she's like, well, maybe my life isn't as bad as yours. And then she's like, now
Yeah.
she's being politically wrong, and she's like, what makes my life isn't good because I'm in a
Yeah.
wheelchair. It was a
It was
funny,
a great episode.
It
It
was
was a great episode.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a great.
Whenever I think the basis of all of this is we have to agree on the premise. We have to agree that trans women are women. If we
Right.
don't agree on that premise, these conversations are almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because when people are saying, I don't want men in women's restroom, neither do I. But trans
Right.
women are not men. You don't have a problem with trans women. You have a problem with predatory men. So let's be very clear on that.
Right. I mean, they still think of of a trans woman as a transvestite, or like a man that
Yeah,
just dresses
yeah.
up like a woman because
Right.
he wants to or whatever. They don't understand the level of it. They don't understand the like you were saying, the body dysmorphia that comes from it. It's an actual thing. But I feel like because we talk about social media and the bad that comes from it, but also
Yeah.
the good, because people like you that do have a platform, that do have a lot of followers, um, they use their platform to counter the misinformation that's out there.
Absolutely. There's so many people doing such good
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
right. Like, and that's so important because of the amount, especially with this administration, the
Ugh.
amount of misinformation that's out there that's that's targeting us, as a community. Drag queens are bad, like no drag queens, no story hour, no, like I swear I saw a post on Threads that went viral saying, I never heard a drag queen say fuck,
Yeah.
Trump like dropped the F-bomb
Yeah.
yesterday. And it's true. They're so hypocritical. There's so much stuff that they,
Oh,
you
they're
know,
so hypocritical. I mean, DeSantis and Trump wear way more makeup, bad makeup, than any drag queen I've ever seen. Like these guys are
exactly.
so caked up. You
Yeah,
got Keg Seth wanting to put a like a green room in one of the military buildings so that he's got a
I saw
makeup
that.
artist on because he's a Fox News host. Like, trust me, Denise, JD, I literally look around all the time and go, "What the fuck happened to our country?"
It's
And look at the mayoral election in New York. I know it wasn't the actual, but the
Gohan, is that his
Democratic
name? Gohan?
primary.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
to have him win, and I don't know who I would have voted for, but I damn well wasn't going to vote for Cuomo. And I
Well,
know that there are some Jewish people out there that have a problem with that. I'm not going to put a sexual assaulter back in office
no,
intentionally. I just won't. So I
no.
don't know who I would have voted for. I know there was other centrist Democrats, and not just the two guys. I believe there was a black queer woman that
Yeah,
was ranked voted, but she was like fifth down there. And if people had just gotten out of their own way and was willing to vote for a black queer woman, you
yeah,
still would have
yeah.
been able to held to what you believe in as a centrist in this country. You
right,
didn't have to vote for Cuomo.
right. Exactly. That's so true. And the thing of it is I did read up a little bit about the guy that did win, and I could not believe the amount of money he's allocated for trans awareness stuff. So I was
Yep.
like, you don't. No, I'm not going to say it because that's mean. All right, I'll just say it.
You don't have to throw
No,
the trans community under the bus to win an election. You just don't.
exactly. And the fact that, that he puts it right out there. It's not something that's like 57th on his list of,
Right.
I mean, it was up there. So that was a big win, in my
Yeah.
opinion, a big win. You
Well,
know,
and you got people like Andy Brashear, who's the governor of a red state, winning
Kentucky, right?
elections.
Yeah,
Yeah, and not throwing the trans community under the bus. A
exactly.
lot of people that did this, it's so unfortunate to me, and they are my friends and my family, and if we've got to speak up for them. And when the lies are being told, say something.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all I ask. Just
yeah,
say something. Speak
yeah.
up.
I mean, the hard part is I think that people worry more so about, like, they speak up, they're gonna get like punched in the face. You know what I mean? Because you're not dealing with people that are intelligent enough to have a conversation.
They're not rational. Yeah.
Right, right. Get their point across. They just go right to violence, and that's the worst. But that's where I'm saying I think social media has to counter, like you said, that this administration is like chaos headquarters. There's like stuff going on for 30 seconds in the news cycle, and then something else goes on, then something else, and then something else. It's like the tariffs, Gaza.
It's intentional.
Yeah, it's totally intentional. And I think the thing of it is that we have the ability to counter all of that.
Yeah.
Like, we definitely do, until he starts like getting rid of news agencies and
Well, that's the problem. The mainstream media is not doing what they need to do.
yeah, exactly. And I find, like, right now, independent news people, like Substack, like
Yeah, the best.
everybody, like, yeah, Jim Acosta, and
Yeah.
people like Yashir Ali, like I follow all these independent news people because I feel like they're giving you the other side that you're
Yeah.
not going to hear about it, because they're they're still, that's like a Blue Sky being the news, that they're still focused on the tariff stuff and the stocks and the economy. And yeah, they'll give you a little update on what's going on as far as Iran.
Right.
They just keep that other stuff in the forefront of your mind so you don't forget. And
Which
that's
is
why I
wonderful.
think, yeah, that's why I think like we should all be finding independent news folks to follow, because if you're following MSNBC and CNN, and it's just you're not hearing the whole thing. You're hearing
No.
what their CEO wants you to hear.
That's
Yeah, you
exactly
know
it. And even the
on
ones
what
that lean
channel.
left,
Yeah.
right? Even the ones that you think lean left are owned by billionaires.
They're owned by billionaires. They're bought and paid for. So it's a scary time to have to, I mean,
Disseminate information.
yeah, it's like I got to curate my feed to be a certain way to see the stuff that I know is right. And I
Right.
like, when do we have to do that?
Right. And then we're in an echo chamber, and we don't necessarily want to live there because we also want to know what's going on. I want to be able to have conversations with people that
Yes.
disagree with me,
Yes.
as long as we're both coming from a place of integrity.
Yeah.
I almost don't want you to air this. I'm going international next week. I want to be able to get back into the United States. Maybe we shouldn't drop this until July 12th.
Where are you going next week?
I'm going on an Olivia trip, actually, Olivia Travel. I'm going from Italy to
nice.
Croatia with Olivia Travels.
Very nice.
Wait, when is
Yeah.
that? Is Hazel?
Are you performing or are you
Yeah,
going?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
Oh, that'd
yeah.
be great.
Yeah,
No,
I'm performing. I've been working with the company since 2006, so 20 years next year.
Oh my
is
God.
Sandra Valls on this one?
No, she's not. Sandra is still finishing her run on Broadway. So her show, Real Women Have Curves, if you're listening to this in New York, go see the show. It's phenomenal. I hate that they're canceling it. This weird thing happens with Broadway a lot where they start a show that has a storyline, and somehow when it gets released on Broadway, it lines up perfectly with what's happening in our country right now. And a big part of the show is about ICE raids, but it's in the 1980s in LA. But now you're seeing history repeat itself. And because the crowds aren't going in ways that they should to support this show with a marginalized community, a cast of Latina women who are really showing up, they're canceling the show. So right now, the last showing is June 29th. So if you're in New York, go see Real Women Have Curves before they take it off.
Yeah. Disappointed. I was so proud. The Tonys, they got to perform at the Tonys.
I know. She's living her dream. Listen, she's been working for this her entire life, and she's making her Broadway debut at 59.
That's
Isn't it
amazing.
insane?
I love that.
Absolutely insane and inspiring. But I'll tell you what, when I saw her do stand up and she sang, like, this
Sandra's a triple threat. I'm very proud of her.
I mean, and not to mention that she got so many of us through COVID. Her and her sister doing this thing, like the Facebook Live stuff. Like it was fantastic. Yeah.
We had her on the show.
Yeah, we had her on right after that. Yeah.
And she was telling us about that. Yeah.
Talented. And so many things I think are going to happen from this for her.
Oh, 100%.
So I keep saying, like, I couldn't be more proud of the people that we've had on this show and what they've gone on to do.
Yeah.
We had Fortune Feimster on the Lesbian Lounge.
Yeah.
She was started on Chelsea Handler's show.
Yep, she was on the round table with Chelsea lately.
Yeah, before that, we had her on just because I found videos of her doing Darlene Witherspoon, the Hooters girl.
Yes. Yeah.
And like she did the interview going through a drive-through getting food. So it was like, oh, hold on for a minute. I just have to order. Hold on for a minute. I just have to pay. So yeah, she is.
And we had Celeste Picos from Campbell from Work in Progress. We had her on the show too.
Yeah.
Early on this show. But I love that.
Just love that.
I haven't gotten famous enough to stop coming back on, apparently.
They come back. They come back.
They come back. They come back. I love that she's 59 and she's her debut. Is that a play or is it
No, it's a musical. It's a musical.
I love that. That's awesome.
It was a movie, right, Dana? Was it a movie?
Yeah, it started off. It was, I think, America Ferrera.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was right up her alley though. I mean, like, my God, you couldn't ask for a better part.
I know. I do. But one thing that bothers me, and I can say this publicly because she's can't tell me not to say it. I was disappointed that they didn't give her own storyline. Almost everyone else in the musical has their storyline, and they did not give the butch lesbian in the show, their storyline. And I think that's something that needs to change on Broadway and also in Hollywood in general.
Yeah, I mean, my God, it's Broadway for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's
mean,
a lot of gays. There's
yes,
a lot of gays.
Yeah.
man.
Men.
In fact, I think Sean Hayes is over here doing Good Night. Good. What is it? What is he doing? Oh my God, now I can't remember. Oh my God, why? It's just completely left my
It's
mind.
okay.
It's not
Yeah.
coming back. But anyways, yeah, they're in the West End now.
Yeah.
So he went from New York to the West End, which is wouldn't that be fantastic if that show would come over here, like in the
Yeah.
West End?
It
Jeez.
should tour. I mean, it really should.
Yeah,
And right now, it's more than
honestly. I
yeah.
mean, I had because I wasn't there, I made Donna tape the CBS This Morning
Ah,
thing and then the Tonys for me, so I'll get to watch it
nice.
in August.
Tonys were phenomenal. The whole thing, the whole production. Cynthia Erivo was incredible.
Yes, I saw clips of it, but we didn't get it. Normally we got it on Sky Arts, but nothing didn't happen. We didn't get it. We get the Oscars the next day when you already
Oh,
seen everything and heard everything funny.
oh man.
Same thing with the Golden Globes and all that.
Yeah, I guess that makes
Didn't
sense.
didn't get the Tonys at all this year. That was
Oh,
weird. Yeah. So
that's weird, especially with London being such a theater town.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, we're going to see Wanda Sykes on Friday. I'm
Nice.
That's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
Cool.
that is. We had tickets for Chelsea Handler, but I was in the hospital, so we couldn't go.
Oh
So
no.
that sucked. And I couldn't give them away. There was like no one
Oh,
around. Katie was
Oh wow.
away. All my friends were out doing something or had plans, so I couldn't even give them away. Just had to eat them. It was so terrible. But
Uh,
yeah, Wanda Sykes, I'm looking forward to. So that'll
didn't
be.
you see Hannah Enbinder
Oh yeah, yeah,
not too long ago?
yes, from Hacks. Yeah,
yeah, Hannah's wonderful.
she is hilarious. She was workshopping some material, so it wasn't like ready.
Sometimes that's the most fun though.
Yeah, it was because she was engaging with everyone and it was
Yeah.
a super tiny venue.
You
But
get to see how the sausage is made.
exactly, Soho Theater.
Right.
It was just sitting around on cushions and like that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she was
cool.
like not up on a big stage or anything. She was right down there with us. So it was really fun. It was a great way to kind of see a different side of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not Ava. You know what I mean?
No,
Definitely
no.
not her
Oh,
character.
no.
She's totally quirky and weird. She reminded me a little bit of, oh God, Jen. She used to be on the round table with Chelsea on Chelsea
Oh, Jen
Kirkman.
Kirkman.
Kirkman. A little
Yeah.
bit like that, like a little
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and very like would lay across stuff and just have a random thought.
Yeah. That was very Paula Poundstone back in the day.
Yeah, right. And it was so like experimental sometimes. And then she would just stop and be like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. And then
Yeah.
to something else. And it was just like,
Workshopping.
yeah, I felt
Yeah.
like we were a part of it. So that was very cool. That is the greatest little theater. Dana, you got to get to that theater.
Yeah.
Soho Theater.
All right. I'll check it out.
There's different levels. Like we saw Jeff Garland there, who now I hate, but at the time I liked.
Okay.
you know but yeah, we saw him there, and then we in like a bigger venue, and then we saw her in like the basement venue.
Right
So,
on.
and I always see Jen Brister at the
Oh, Jen's hysterical.
isn't she great?
God, she's funny.
She's starting a US tour.
I will definitely go to her show
Yeah,
if
you have
it's
to.
near me. Yeah,
It's
just to
so
support
good.
her. She's so funny.
And it's such different material now that she's a mom,
Yeah.
with the boys, and
Yeah.
it's not all about like the partner and the mother. Now it's about her being a mom. So
Yeah.
it's good stuff, really good stuff. A couple more gays of the days that I'm looking
Couple more
forward
gays
to.
of the day for the end of the month. Yeah, and then
Go catch up.
they're gonna live in perpetuity on my Instagram. So go follow me there at DG Comedy. That's where they live.
That's where they
Yes.
live,
Catch
and
up.
that's what
Share
we
it
need to
all.
pass them on, pass them
Yeah,
on.
share them, share them. Tell people who we are.
Yeah,
They need to
exactly.
remember.
They need to know this stuff. It's not, and the thing of it is too, is that there are some big names, Alan Turing, obviously,
Hmm.
but they're not all Alan Turing or Harvey Milks. They're people that all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
like tomorrow, I know this won't air by the time people hear this. Marriage Equality, 10-year anniversary of Marriage Equality is the 26th of June. The reason that happened first was because of Edie Windsor, and she's got that. She's
Yeah.
got her episode, but it was the Obergefell case. And so tomorrow is Jim Obergefell, and people
Okay.
know his name, but they don't know Jim's story. So
Right.
now you get to hear Jim's story.
Right.
Oh.
You only know the verses.
Yeah.
That part of it. Exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these. I just think that they're so necessary right now.
Thank you so much, my friend. Yeah.
I'm super thrilled with this idea. I love it. I love it. I just think go on forever.
I will be doing them intermittently, but I can't. Every day is a lot. Every day is a lot.
Well,
One a
it's 5 month. I get that.
It's also a lot for my editor. Yeah.
I believe it every day. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Even we need a week to get a show going together.
That's right.
That's funny. Well, listen, carry on with your bad self. Have fun on
Thank
the
you.
Olivia trip. And
Yeah.
let us know when you're going to be in our areas.
I definitely will. I definitely will.
Good seeing you, my love.
You too. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.